up when the dark comes rolling. Heart wide open, let it all show. Little bit of love and we let it grow.
What's up, everybody, and welcome into SaraTonin Talks. I'm here with Mrs. Bayshore Pace herself, going over her brand new podcast. She wanted to start something. I'm opening up for her because I'm used to being in front of you guys. I'm used to the hecklers. So go ahead, Sara. Let them know who you are.
I'm Sara. I just went through some of a tragic event. I ended up having a manic episode at work and ended up coming home, not sure how I got home, and a few days later ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks, and I was away from my family, and I've been home now for about a week, and I'm still trying to get used to being here. I'm still manic, but it's in my control, and I'm just doing the best that I can, and I'm seeing my doctors and taking my medicine, and
By
it's all
doing the
you can
best,
do.
by doing the best you can, it is starting a podcast, starting a creative outlet to let some of them go.
Hmm.
I have my sports, I have my other ways of getting through it, hunting and all that stuff. So this is a way to express yourself. It's basically a conversation about mental health, marriage, healing, and everything else. Anything else you'd like to cover before I start getting into the interview and grilling you a little bit?
um, well, I feel like being home with my family, I feel like I'm being given my marriage back. I've worked midnights now for a year, and I really feel like it's taken a toll on our life and myself as a mother, and being there for our little guy, Peyton, who's 2.5, and he is just amazing. Um, you and Peyton really give me purpose, so I appreciate that.
Well, you set a lot of purpose in motion by having them, so you are our
Thank you.
purpose too. So, when you first thought about doing the podcast, what was your original idea? What did you want to tell people? What did you want to get out there?
I want to tell people that it is okay to have a mental illness, and it is okay to talk about it and to not be embarrassed about it. Speaking about mental illness is so important, and being there for other people and people being there for you is just amazing because we need more of that in this world. Um,
Feels like he's
some,
something you needed to do.
yeah, so many people's lives have been taken away because of mental illness, and I'll admit I've attempted to commit suicide about a handful of times in my life, and I am forever grateful to still have my life right now. So I feel like I have people watching over me right now, and I appreciate it.
You know, the problem with mental health is you get half the people that lean into it, understand it, and then you get the other half that don't want to accept it or don't
Hmm.
believe in it. What are your thoughts
Yeah.
on that?
I would say that people that I think the biggest issue with it is people have opinions, and before they say those opinions, they don't think about it before they say it. So they don't think, oh, I might hurt their feelings, or they might not understand what I'm saying. And, sometimes it's keeping your opinions to yourself and just listening to what the person in your life has to say.
What are you expecting people to say to you in them kind of situations? Going through a manic
Um,
depression, me personally, I can say when I was going with you, there wasn't a lot of anything that I was gonna say that was gonna hit home. It was more you were talking to me to reply only. So when you're going through that kind
so
of stuff, how do you explain?
That's really hard. I know that's been super hard for you to handle, and it's been hard for me to deal with myself when I get in that way. So I feel like just the person being present. They don't have to say anything. They don't have to do anything. I mean, over this past weekend, my parents were up here to visit. Seeing my parents was just everything. That was huge. They didn't have to say anything. They didn't have to do anything, but it's just that they were here. So it's just being here, and you're here, and I know I put you through a lot of stuff, and you just deal with it. And I have no idea what I would do without you. So
I mean, everybody's built different. I just got a bigger back. I'm able to carry a different load. Not gonna lie, it did get to me at some point. Like I
Mm-hmm.
know I've expressed to a couple other people, but when you get to look your partner's evil right in the face, like
Mm-hmm.
part of somebody,
Yeah.
it's very hard to look at them the same, even when they're
Yeah.
talking the nicest stuff about you. So it is a very weird thing to see that, and then to snap out of it in the same sense.
Yeah, it's like an evil. It's like an evil version of myself that I didn't even realize that I had. And
Yeah.
it's just a sickness that's out of my control. And trust me, I wish I had control over it because it it would not exist. But the fact that it does exist, I just want people to realize that it's okay and that, taking care of yourself is so important because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others.
Yeah, and that's the main thing you can do when I was preaching coming back home, telling her I gotta be there for Peyton. No, you gotta be there for you first. I can carry the load, but you gotta be there for you, get you right, and that'll help everybody in the long run.
Yeah.
So doing this podcast, Sarah, how much of yourself are you willing to expose? Are you willing to go all the way down to get to the root and the evil, or are you just willing to just
I'm
stand there
willing to
for
share anything. I'm an
it?
open book.
Well, it's not sharing anything. It'd be
It's
for further.
just
It's for
telling my
people.
story.
Yeah,
It's
people
telling my
watching.
story because it's real.
Yeah, people watching in the future. That's why I'm asking. I'm trying to get what you're going to get out of watching a series or a podcast ran by Sarah. So,
Yeah.
what's your main goal out of this? What is your main goal on building a podcast and talking to people? Are you looking to do interviews? Are you looking to
I would
just
like to do
talk?
interviews. I would like to hear other people's perspective that are experiencing going through similar things that I'm going through. Um, but really just different perspectives on this. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know about all of those things, but I go to therapy, I go to the doctors, I take my medicine. I feel like I do the things correctly that I'm supposed to do, and yet I still went manic. So I feel like it was just stress of working midnights, but and being away from my family.
Yeah.
So
So, main question: is there someone in your lifetime now that you could wish you could go back and talk to and have these type of conversations with before something happened?
absolutely. Both of my grandmothers, they were my best friends. One passed when I was 15 years old, and then one just passed about 7 years ago. And I was close to them in their own special way, but I just miss them more than anything.
All right, people are watching this 9 minutes in. Um, what would you tell somebody right now if they're quietly struggling?
To keep going,
The first thing you would do just to keep going struggling?
keep going, keep going, keep pushing through it because it's the strong ones that deal with it and they can keep going and it's just we're being tested. And you just got to push through it and be strong enough for yourself so again you can be strong enough for the other people in your life that are important to you.
Um, thoughts about depression itself and being bipolar and trying to keep a marriage going. How does the thoughts run through your head, the good and the bad?
Well, the bad part is I feel like when I am like that in my depression and I'm in a really bad space, I feel like my marriage is failing completely. And just for those who can see this, I've had a failed marriage before. And so my brain just kind of goes back to that point like it was my fault, I caused it, so and so. So blaming myself for everything. But then I turn around and I look at the positive side of it and I know that you're not going anywhere and that you love me and that I need to realize that my life is so different now and I am so blessed to be where I am right now. And I have to look at it in that way when I'm in such a bad space.
So what's the one thing that you remember walking into your first facility that you went to and where you stayed and got the help that you needed? What was your first initial thought of the place?
Prison. Like, just like, I'm stuck here. I can't see my son. I can't see my husband. I can't, like, I had a certain time I had to go to bed. I had just all these rushing thoughts going through my brain. And it was just the most terrifying thing ever. But the doctors and the nurses and everybody that was there was so they were so kind. They just wanted me to be okay.
Yeah, I remember when you were going through it all, a big thing in your head is I didn't want to go to a specific place. I didn't want to go to a specific place. Do you think that was just your instincts, or do you think it was like you had a already built in a design and game plan of what you would do if it happened again, and that's where you wanted to go?
Well, so when that happened, because obviously when this happened, you were in Texas for work. And my dad was up here. He was in Alpena. He was working. And I remember calling my dad saying, hey, dad, I'm getting ready to drive downstate to visit some friends, so on and so forth. And I ended up leaving and I drove down to Family Fair, which is like, what, a mile and a half away from us. And he's like, Sara, park your car. And I'm like, okay, dad. So I parked my car and I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't be going downstate. I need to go to Alicia and Tommy's. And Alicia and Tommy are my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. And I went to their house and I said to Tommy, Tommy, my dad is on his way here. I said, I need you to help me explain this to him because I'm having a very hard time. And babe, Tommy is my big brother. He has protected me through so many things that I have been through here and just in my life in general, living downstate, whatever. And he helped me explain to my dad what was going on. And by that time, Alicia had already came to pick up Peyton and took him to their house. And by that time, my dad had said that he had a friend that worked down in Saginaw at Covenant Hospital, and he was a psychiatrist. And I said, you know what, dad, I trust you. So that's where he took me. And it just all kind of happened all at one time. But it's just so vivid now.
Right.
Yeah. It's just a
What
lot. I was there for 11 days.
what's the thing you learned most about yourself since you've been out of there?
Um, that it's okay to be bipolar.
Yeah, what would you
I've
tell
accepted it.
what would you tell people that are experiencing the same thing where you got a lot of denial and all that around you?
Don't be embarrassed. Don't ever be embarrassed of who you are. It doesn't define you. It's just a part of your life that you may struggle through, but I mean, everybody's going to get through it. And I want to be here for other people and be able to talk to them about my experiences, but also listen about their experiences and know that there are people that are there for them.
What would you tell the person in the moment of them trying to kill themselves now? Your former.
That's tough. That's very tough because um I've experienced different situations in wanting to kill myself. And one time I called a hotline. Another time I attempted to, and my dog literally stopped me. Chuck stopped me. He ran into the room so fast and barked at me, and I just instantly stopped. I feel that I believe that things will instantly happen for them that will let them know that you are wanted here. And there is no reason to kill yourself. I believe in angels. I believe in family members that have passed away. And I believe in just so many different things. I have faith in everything in my life right now. And I just hope that I could help people think the same way, think positive, and know that they are wanted in this world.
Yeah, there you go. That's, I mean, pretty much everything I was going to ask you in the next one. Pretty much just summed it up in your answer in that one. But we're 15 minutes in now, so go ahead and tell people what you can expect here in the next couple months. Your game plan and all that, and then we'll get out of here.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of things to cover with just from my experiences alone, but then hopefully people can, get a hold of us and say, I would love to be interviewed, or I would love to talk to you about this, or I just want to see how many people we can get involved in this and make a movement out of it, make something out of this to save lives.
There you go. I'm glad I got to do this first episode with you, and I'll continue to be your producer from here on out. It might be more Sarah talking just by herself and me coming on as a producer, but I'm glad we get to do this together. Hopefully it helps you build some, a hobby at least, and maybe, some friendships along the way with people that you are like-minded with. And check her out, give her a hype. You guys get 3 of them a week. Hit the like button, subscribe to her if you're watching this. Last words, Sarah, and get us out of here.
All
Go ahead.
right. I'm going to see you guys soon. I'm not sure how often we're going to do this, but we will keep you guys all posted. Hope you guys have a good day.